Josh Gates tonight and our salute to gods and monsters. It's time to meet our next guest, who actually has faced the end of the world twice. First from brain-eating zombies in The Walking Dead, and then at the hands of alien invaders in the show Colony. Please welcome the wonderful Sarah Wayne Callies. How are you?
I'm thrilled to be here. I love what you do.
Oh,
I love
that's
what
so
you do.
nice to hear. I love what you do. Thank you for dropping by. Okay, it's Monster Night, so let's start with the obvious. Let's start with Walking Dead. You are an OG Walking Deader. You, of course, played Lori Grimes on The Walking Dead for 3 seasons. When did you know that show was going to be a phenomenon?
Not until it aired. I think we were all thinking we are going to go for broke and tell this story as though it were real. We're not going to do anything camp. And then Andy and I did a big press tour. We were in Cannes and London and New York and LA, and there were a lot of people laughing at us. Like, there were a lot of people in the press, especially the French. And by the way, I love the French, but they were like, okay, so the zombies are chasing you, and then what? And I was like, I know.
You're like, that's it. They just keep chasing us.
The cool thing was that we never said the word zombie, which makes things easier because then when you go do press in Spain, they say zombie, and it's really, really hard to keep a straight face for an entire interview about zombies. Yeah, I don't know if they do now because I don't watch the show. I never watch the show.
They're still fighting zombies.
Are they still?
Yeah, it's still happening.
Are they zombies?
They're zombies, and they're still after them.
The zombies are still running
The zombies
after
are still there.
the
Yeah,
people.
they're still there.
That's great.
But you didn't know that it was going to be a mega hit until it aired.
No, not at all. The ratings came in, we had like 6 million viewers, which was like more than every show on AMC put together.
Highest rated show in AMC's history by a mile.
It was bananas.
Okay, so take me behind the scenes. I want to know about your relationship with Carl, played by Chandler Riggs. You know, this is a kid that a lot of people literally watched grow up on that show.
I love that kid. You know, it's funny, Bernthal and I had kind of a good cop, bad cop with him. He idolized John, understandably, and I was usually the one that was like, get your gum out, put your toy down, we're about to roll.
You were his mom.
I was very much the mom.
I saw a YouTube montage of clips of you from the show called Lori Grimes Parent of the Year. And it was all these clips where you were just sending Carl away, or you were like, where's Carl?
First of all, I'd be willing to bet that none of those people have an 11-year-old son.
Right.
I'm like, I feel like there might be a moment of karma where some of those voices are now trapped in quarantine houses with their small children and being like, I would send you into a pack of zombies right now. Like, not that I don't love you, I just need a little bit of space.
Can we talk about your send-off on the show? I mean, I don't know that we need to do spoiler alerts. Lori died on the show. For anyone who hasn't started the series yet, you had this very emotional send-off on the show. You died during childbirth on the show. Did you want to die on the show?
I wanted to serve the show, and the show needs Lori to die in order for Rick to go crazy. I wasn't like trying to leave a super successful show with a bunch of my friends on it. First of all, you don't sign up for a show called The Walking Dead and be like, this is tenure, I'll be here forever, yay!
You gotta be careful how big a house you buy.
Exactly. Don't go buying a Porsche, okay? It's not gonna happen.
People make that mistake a lot in Hollywood. That's a classic story.
Tell me about it. I worked with Lori Petty on the 4th season of Prison Break, and she said to me, she's like, every time I start a new show, I get all the cast together that's under 25, and I say, don't buy a car. And I was like, I love you.
I have to say, other than your character, my favorite characters on Walking Dead were the older characters. I just found them more interesting in a way than all of the young people on the show. The idea that these people who had seen a lot of life and kind of what this would do to them. Scott Wilson, who, you know, is now no longer with us as Herschel.
Yeah.
He was so amazing on the show. He just seemed like the coolest guy. Was he great to work with?
He was sensational. He really was. And to watch him and Jeff DeMunn talk off camera, you know, like we'd be setting up a shot and they'd be sitting in the field having a conversation. Andy and John and I would be like, I wonder what they're talking about.
I mean, and Jeff DeMunn, like, what a character. He's another guy who's just like, you can't take your eyes off him.
Yeah.
He's just magnetic.
Everything's honest. Young people are great to look at. They're beautiful. It's awesome. But there's this whole group of lavishly talented people who we're missing out on.
Right.
Hashtag right for older actors.
Yes. If you were in charge, what would you have done? Would you have at all have followed the trajectory of your group of survivors on this show?
I definitely think I would have left Atlanta.
Big time.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, just for the humidity.
Just the humidity. You could head for like the islands off of like Savannah.
Yeah.
Um,
Can walkers swim?
I don't think walkers can swim.
I stopped watching after you left, Sarah. It is Monster Night on the show. I see you have a skull necklace on. Are you a monster horror fan at heart?
No, that's so, this is, I guess, misleading. I just loved it. I can't watch horror.
Come on.
The last horror movie I saw, I was 14. I was on a double date. I saw The People Under the Stairs, and I didn't sleep for 2 weeks. Counted 2 weeks.
People Under the Stairs, Wes Craven. How did the date go?
I couldn't handle it. He was a really, really good-looking dude, and I was like, you have to be making a mistake. And I think by the end of the date, he was like, I think I could do better. I was like, you're probably right.
Are you saying that young Sarah Wayne Callies wasn't a catch? Come on.
I mean, if you could get past the giant pink glasses and the mouthful of braces, not a catch. I think not a catch is probably the charitable way of putting it.
Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I probably shouldn't say this publicly, but I think the real monsters are more interesting, right? Like the giant squid.
No, I agree. The giant squid is
The
terrifying.
giant squid. And I mean, look, I realize that I sound like a crackpot and wearing a tinfoil hat. I definitely believe in Sasquatch.
You do? Really?
Totally.
As a guy who has been paid to go look for things like Sasquatch for much of my career, I want to believe.
By the way, that's an amazing statement.
Oh, it's true. It's a weird job.
I want to go next time with you.
So be careful what you wish for. Be careful.
We're going Yeti hunting.
How do you feel about eating fried insects?
What are they fried in?
It's an insect. You're worried about the fat content of the oil?
No, like, is it delicious? Like, do you put it, like, is there garlic and, like, a little ginger?
It's never delicious. That's the spoiler on fried bugs.
I can bring a granola bar.
Okay. All right. Well, you're in. You're hired.